Hey everyone, I wanted to discuss something I find to be really important because I am a U.S. Army veteran. I served in the Army during the Gulf War and I joined the military and went into active duty status in 1989. Now, it's kind of interesting, and all vets might not feel this way, but I'm going to give you a little overview of what it's like to be someone in my position when dealing with the general public and others who have not served. Now, as a veteran, when I run across other veterans, I normally do not ask them questions outside of where were you stationed, what was your MOS, etc., etc. Outside of that, I don't ask questions. And I'll tell you why. The main reason I don't ask other veterans questions is because there are experiences that veterans have had that they really would prefer to only share with a select group of people, whether it's just with their family, their doctor, their spouse, their parents, a therapist, the VA, etc., or someone who was in their same unit who had the same experience. So, therefore, as much as people want to say, well, thanks for your service, did you enjoy the military? I retired at the age of 47. And when you have a veteran, number one, who's retired really young, or if they say I'm, service connected, that means that person was hurt in some sort of way, and the some sort of way that they would prefer not to really discuss because it's really not going to benefit the situation at hand. So I think for me, when it comes to people saying thanks for your service, I say you're welcome, and they say, well, tell me about it, and how was it? Did you like it? That's not really the direction I would call that I would like to go in. There were certain aspects of the military which are interesting. I can tell you about when I threw a grenade, or went into a building, had the tear gas pulled, or went on a road march, or I did my job as a medic. But there's certain aspects of the military that are not fun and that bring upon heartache and sadness and guilt and shame. And so I wouldn't necessarily calling military service, I wouldn't call it fun. I would say it was an experience, and it's something that I don't really want to talk about or relive, especially with complete strangers. So, best thing to do if you meet a vet or you see a vet or you're in the VA, all you got to do is smile and say hi. Um, there's really not much else to discuss. It would be as if, you as a civilian had lived a very painful experience. The last thing you want a complete stranger to do is walk up and say, hey, can you tell me about the time you were sexually assaulted? Or, hey, by the way, when you were hit by that roadside bomb, how did that work out for you? Oh, I see you're missing a limb. Tell me all about it. There's just, there's really no polite way to ask if someone enjoyed being in the military. It's an experience, and sometimes the experience brings about more sadness than happiness. And yes, we do have lifelong friends, and yes, I am proud of the fact that I served, but I wouldn't necessarily ever ask a veteran to tell me about their experience. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope this clears things up. I hope there can be a bit more, just a little bit, not more sensitivity, but a little bit more awareness when it comes to talking with veterans. I just prefer for myself to not share personal details of the time I was in service. I think you can ask someone, hey, when did you join, or what era did you serve? Where did you go to basic? Were you active? Oh, where were you stationed when you were active? What was your MOS? That means what job did you do? So if you talk about things like that, that's great because those are basic questions that any soldier can answer. But to say, did you like it? Some people may have. It's just difficult because you don't know from one soldier to another who's the depth of the injury that they've suffered. So, anyways, hopefully that helps. You can thank me, or you can just smile and say hi, or whatever the case, but you're welcome. Um, just my story. I'm sticking to it, and I just hope to bring awareness to the situation. So, hopefully, this helps someone. Ask me about basic, ask me where I was stationed, ask me what my MOS was, and then if I want to divulge what I went through in the military and I feel it's necessary, I will. And if I don't, it's just the way it is. So there you go. I hope that helped, and I hope you all have a good night. Bye-bye.